Let's say you need to change the string hooks on your Kahler cam-based system. There can be any number of reasons that you need to do this. Maybe you broke one of the hooks. Maybe you want to upgrade to thicker strings, down tune, do whatever. Who knows? I'll show you how to do it right now. It's not that hard, but there are a lot of steps. Let's get started. The very first thing we want to do is use this 5/64 Allen wrench and make sure that all the tension is off of the springs, which it is. The next thing we do is take the springs off the plate. The next thing we're going to do is use this 3/32 Allen wrench to loosen up on either side here where the cam goes in, and out comes the cam. We have to take the string hook assembly off, therefore we remove the fine tuners. Take our Phillips number 1 and we remove the string hook assembly. There it is, it's completely off, and there's this little piece that's going through here. What we want to determine is which way to push this piece, because one end is splined and one is not. That right there might be the area to push it from. It looks like it's a little bit deeper. That looks a little misshapen, so I'm going to guess that I want to push it from this way. Now this can only go one way. If you try to push it too hard from the wrong direction, you will ruin this and you'll have to buy a new one. This is designed to where you can use a 16-penny nail to drive it out, but I have this super high-tech little pokey thing from Harbor Freight, so I'm going to use that. And what we'll do is set it on this block, giving plenty of room for that pin to move. Just give it a little push. So that side right there has the little crush on it, and we've already had a hook fall out. Let's grab some pliers and just kind of help this thing out. Now, this is a trick, and it's a helpful one. Stick it back in and just kind of let it sit there like that so that you know what direction to go from. We're just going to pretend that these hooks right here are the ones that are going to be put back in. So what we'll do is just start. We want to get that first one in fairly quick. Reason being, once you got the first one in, you definitely know what direction your pin's going. Okay, there it is. Let's get back down here to our block. I'm going to take this mallet here and I'm just going to give it just a couple little taps. Now we can put the assembly with the new string hooks back onto the cam. This is a pretty crucial spot, and I've been asked to make extra certain everybody understands. On one side, we have kind of a tapered slope, and then what almost appears to be two dots on the end right here, and then another one right here. Those aren't actually dots. That is the slot where this pin is meant to be seated. So when we reinstall this part that is meant to tension the springs, when we put it in like this and we put that pin back in, it should go in pretty easy, but we want to make certain that it's absolutely all the way in. That is not absolutely all the way in. I'm going to purposely install this incorrectly so you can see what not to do and why. Now what I've done is I've trapped that pin in there installed incorrectly. You can see that there's a gap right there. That's because the pin is trapped. There's still a gap over here, but much less of one. And the piece is sitting cockeyed. Not only that, but it really does not want to move. Again, you can see that it's not seated all the way in there. Now this is very easy to do. You just push it through and then you give it a little shake and it cannot move when it's in there correctly. And we can see with it properly seated, There isn't really much of a gap right there on either side. This thing isn't cockeyed and it can move freely. Let's make absolute certain that all the hooks are facing the right way. Get that first screw started. Now it's ready to go back on the plate. What we're going to have to do is get the Allen screw inside this inner diameter of this bearing. A little trick that we can do is to bring it in just a little bit. Then look down here, see it, bring it in. Go to the other side. Don't force it. If it doesn't feel like you got it lined up, take your time and be patient. Now I like to get it snug and then back it off a little bit and just give it a bump forward. Snug, back it off a bit, bump forward. Now remember, we've loosened these screws up here to make getting these ones started easier. Snug it all down. And there you go. You've just replaced your string hooks. As with everything, don't force it. If it feels like you're forcing something, just back off, regroup, take another closer look. Because if there is an issue and you force it, you'll just make things worse. And if you're frustrated, take a little break, walk away from it, come back later.